Hello everybody, I am Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries, back with another video for Season 15, Episode 9. Hope that you are having an absolutely wonderful day so far, and clearly there's an update, right? I talked about this last video, how now, being in college, we are currently in our dorm room, and I can definitely and probably should find a better place to film here, but for now, this is where we are. And basically, so Braedon is a familiar face on the channel. Had him on, was it over the summer, near the end of last school year, whenever it was, a couple months ago, for like a Zoom interview about his ministry. And then we actually end up becoming roommates off of that because we knew that we were going to college together and just decided to become roommates from there. So Braedon, just introduce yourself on a more personal level, because we know like the ministry Braedon. But you kind of your major, your hometown, and why you chose Franciscan.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Braedon. My handle online is braedon.life, and I am from Indiana. I'm from a suburb outside of Indianapolis. My major right now is undeclared. That's just because I'm going back and forth between humanities and Catholic culture and a theology major, but I do plan on minoring in youth ministry, so in the ministerial field.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he will be probably a bigger part of the channel in the future, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, I'm majoring in theology and catechetics here. I think I mentioned that a couple times on the channel. And Braedon, I know that we had kind of a whole episode about it in the past, but just a little bit about like what your ministry is, how you have the following that you do, and what you do with it.
Yeah, so I work as a pro-life advocate, or more in a holistic sense, consistent life ethic activist. So I believe in protecting human dignity from conception until natural death. So I'm very passionate about that. I work kind of more nichely in the sense of foster care and adoption. I was in foster care at the early parts of my life. I was impoverished multiple times. So yeah, it's just a really big ministry on my heart to advocate for the rights and human dignity of foster youth and adoptees, and then also just advocating for the preborn.
All absolutely lovely things, man.
Yeah.
All fantastic. So it's great to kind of have that connection, both doing a form of ministry and being able to then end up kind of living together off of that, which is kind of a weird concept, but here we are. So I think why I failed to mention why I chose Franciscan. And I've gotten asked that question a lot, even by some of you guys, and it's kind of a little bit of a difficult answer just because I've had it in mind for 3 years. I definitely probably found out about it from a conference. And just knowing like this field of catechetics apologetics that I do already on the YouTube, and going and giving talks, I knew that I wanted to expand that, that Franciscan had the right resources and the culture to help that. I just really felt called here. Even though there's a fear there of moving so far from home, of a lot of change, I felt very much called here, and I feel like I am in the right place. So that's kind of what I want us to talk a little bit about, is the first week adjustment. So when this is being recorded, it's been about a week and a half, which is not a long time at all, but it's felt long and short and weird. Yeah. But it's been an adjustment. Do you have thoughts?
Yeah. It's weird because like I've been anticipating this so much my whole life, where it's just kind of like one of those things where I feel like I've just been waiting for this. So like I've kind of like been prepping for a while now, but also it's just like very surreal. Like I'm in college, and like we can both agree, like we've had moments where we'll just be like sitting eating dinner, or like laying in our beds, and we'll just be like, we're in college. Like that's so weird, and that's so different. And it's just it's one of those things where like you look forward to it so much in your life, and then once you're in it, you're like, whoa. And so it's just been like it's been different, but I love the aspect. I love Franciscan University. Fire me up, Barons. I just love the culture here, and I was telling one of my friends, you can just really feel God's presence here. You can really feel spirit of joy in a lot of people's faces, and just it's just a beautiful place that's been so blessed by God.
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I think it's a weird realization that we're living here now. Yeah. Like, especially, like, just in this state. It's like, you're telling me I'm not back home? Like, I'm not just visiting here? You know what I mean? That's weird. But I think that from, like, the Franciscan perspective of it, this culture is crazy. It's insane. It's unlike anything. And obviously, you're going to have your wide variety of people. It's a normal university in that sense. But as he said, like, you just feel you just feel like holiness
Yes,
just everywhere.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Like just all around you in some way. Even if you're not in the chapel, even if you're not at Mass, there's just crazy, crazy things here with the culture. I was talking about this, and I want to tell this story. I'll send a friend this also. I don't want to make it seem like I'm like a loner. It's just sometimes I choose to go to a meal and sit by myself because that's like the routine that I'm going in, and so I don't mind, like I don't care. But what I've noticed here, Braedon, is you like can't do that.
No,
like
you can't.
someone is gonna invite you over or offer something. It's great. It's great. It's just crazy that's the culture here, is that it's just all this like togetherness. You know what I mean? Just your faith and your academics intertwined.
Yeah, it's so weird because like the other day, like after classes, I saw like a group of people gathering. I heard like a guitar, and they were like setting up for something. I was like, "What's going on?" And then I remembered like, "Oh, it's the campus blessing." And then I was like, "That's like the most Catholic thing, a campus blessing after like morning classes get out." And so I stood by, and it was just funny because the president, Father Dave Pavanka, was just walking around with his aspergillum, dousing people in holy water. It was just like, I just loved it. Like there was something about it, and like you'd be sitting in like the coffee shop or something around campus, and you would just see like all of a sudden people like running because they were getting like soaked with water, and I was just like, this is just so cool. And then there's so many religious here, like a lot more religious than I expected. There's many priests and brothers and sisters studying here for different aspects of their vocation, and so that's also just been really cool. Like I have a class with a man who's in a priestly program, not the priestly discernment program, but he's in a program with a group, and it's just kind of cool to have those people like just in class with you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think, do you ever have like those moments where you're like, I go to Franciscan, because there's just so much Catholicness coming out of me. I think one of the biggest moments for me was around last week when I think you were there, when I was like, dude, I'm so hyped for the ministry fair tonight. And I was just like, wow, I go to Franciscan. Like that is the most Catholic, and it's awesome. It's such a blessing. It's just crazy, that culture. I don't think you're going to get that anywhere else. I don't think you're going to get that anywhere else. And so there's just a lot here, and in a good way, a lot of fruitfulness, a lot of goodness. And we are really, really blessed to be starting this kind of new chapter. When it comes to, obviously, like we've been here like a week and a half. We're not the most expert of experts on it, but I think that it's at least good to talk about, because when you talk about college in the Catholic sense, one of the number one things you're going to hear is like a ton of people leave their faith in college.
Yeah,
which is true. That's like what is talked about when it comes to college and the Catholic faith. So obviously, only being here a week and a half, we're not the most expert on this, but I think it's good to talk about this idea of balancing your college life, your academics, while staying in your faith, not letting college drive you away in your faith. And obviously, it's going to be different at a culture like this, at a school like this, than it will be at a state college. But it still is the same time in your life and the same freedoms. And so I think that it's good that we talk about that. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I can speak for myself. Like this past week, I'm just gonna be fully honest. I really was like, like I'm at Catholic college. I'm gonna go to daily mass every day. I didn't go one day this past week, and that was kind of like I was disappointed in myself. But it's just more like figuring out your schedule. But this week, like I'm making intentional plans with like our friends to go to mass and really just relish in those sacraments that we can receive so freely here on the campus. That is just so passionately Catholic. Another thing that I just really enjoyed having is in all the dorms at Franciscan University, they have a chapel where our Lord is present. Our chapel just happens to be right down a couple doors from us, and so we are able to literally be like dorm mates with our Lord in the Eucharist. And so it's just so nice some nights, like after you're done showering, or even like during the day if you're stopping by the room to grab something, just like pop in there, say hi to Jesus, And I just think that that's so cool that we have that. We have a sister who's our chaplain here. So I'm just trying to like get more involved with like, meeting all these people and like really taking advantage. So I'd say if you're at a campus where there are Catholic resources, whether it be like a Newman Center or some version of that, or you're at a very Catholic campus like Franciscan, just really take advantage of those resources, because even in some place right here where you pray before every class and prayer is just such an integral part, there's still times where you slip up and you forget. And I just think it's so important to remember, like, we're so blessed and to take advantage of if you have those resources.
Absolutely agree. I think that there's this, this idea that and I think it's even a thing in high school, right? Like if you're in high school watching this, that our academics and our social life and that thing, and then our faith life can kind of be a separate thing,
Yeah.
and that we can work on both. That's like not true. They need to be intertwined, because your faith goes above everything, right? Including your academics, including your social life. And so you don't have to be at a Catholic college like Franciscan to stay Catholic, right? Like it absolutely helps. It's great, all the resources here, but there's going to be Catholic resources basically wherever you go, right? There's going to be some sort of Catholic center, and it's difficult because it's up to you to seek that out.
Yeah.
Like it's up to you as a person to make that decision to choose Christ in that way. But it's a lot more than just like, oh, I guess I should stay with my religion. Like it's so much more than that. It's your faith has to be intertwined and a part of everything you do. And so it may be a little more difficult when you have to seek it out yourself rather than it being like everywhere here at Franciscan. But it's necessary and it's good in that. There's a fruitfulness in that. And so I think that just anybody going to college or even high school needs to understand, like as soon as we get the mindset, even subconsciously, that those things, that our faith life, that our prayer life, and that our school life can be separate, that becomes a dangerous thing. And I think we too often have that mindset. I think it's, I don't think you can fully blame us. It gets busy, it gets whatever. But we need to like take a step back, take a deep breath, and understand why we're here and what our goal is on this earth in general, right? As cliche as it may sound, is to get to heaven. So we're really blessed to be here at Franciscan to start this kind of new chapter. When it comes to the future of Kinetic, I know I've brought this up a lot in like the past couple of videos. It's because I don't like fully know, right? My goal is to get as many people involved as possible, like Braedon, like other friends here we have on campus, for us to be able to hear different testimonies of different people. I think that's really, really fruitful because I absolutely love coming on here and spilling apologetics. I think that it's good that we hear from a lot of other people too, though, also. And so that is the goal for Kinetic, to continue posting weekly as long as you guys are watching. And I want to say thank you for all the well wishes in my last video talking about coming here, and for all the prayers you have been sending my way, you've been sending my classmates' way, and I am really, really excited for whatever the future is gonna have.
Yeah.
So, Braedon, it's like a thing that there is a ridiculously long outro that I spiel.
Yes.
So I don't know if did I do that when we did our interview over Zoom? Really?
Yeah.
Typically when I have an interview, I feel bad, and so I always like cut it short. I'm always like, no, I'm not gonna say everything this time. But I think to just be authentically me, I need to go for the whole. But then I always feel like, because then the person's awkwardly sitting there, like looking around, waiting for me to finish. You know what I mean? Anyway, point being, to start the outro, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment any saint or topic suggestions that you might have for future videos. Also, please comment any prayer requests of yours. It's great that as a community we can all see that. We can all pray for one another. I ask that you continue praying for Braedon and I and all of our classmates here at Franciscan as we begin kind of this new chapter. Please check out all 3 of Kinetic's social medias. That is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, in the description down below. Please check out the website, kineticcatholicministries.com. You can read about us, you can contact us. All my videos are up there, and I'm not just a YouTuber, I'm also a Catholic speaker, so I'm still planning on continuing that in college, right? Not just ending that completely. And so if you want to book me to come and speak, or church school, men's group, women's group, youth group, event, whatever, I travel for that as well. So please reach out to us at kineticcatholicministries@gmail.com. And please like the video. Oh, I haven't even said subscribe yet. Please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video, and then share this channel video with your friends and family who may not know about KC. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Braedon, for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
For giving up your time and literally our living space, because you live here and all of this is here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, God bless all of you. This was Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries, and then once again, Braedon. You can find him Braedon.life on Instagram. We will see you all next week.
God bless.
Hi, Brielle.